Ball State Sports Links Driven is proudly presented by Stoops Automotive. Online at stoopsauto.com.
Dad always told me that I was always the first one in the water and the last one out at practice.
I didn't know exactly how or if or when it would happen. I just, my plan was just to come in and work hard.
Welcome into Ball State Sports Links Driven. I'm your host, Connor Runyon. She's Allie Luthman. Allie, great to be with you for another episode here.
Thank you, Connor.
We'll celebrate the accomplishments of Ball State athletes here in the next half hour or so.
Absolutely. All right, and we're going to get right into it with Riley Neal and how not being able to tackle gave him a spot on the Ball State football team.
Well, my dad coached me in 3rd grade, and he said he's heartbroken to find out I couldn't tackle in 3rd grade, so he decided to put me at quarterback. Yeah, they're both really influential to me. They're both pretty good players back in their day, and both came here to play. Different circumstances. My dad started as a walk-on and earned a scholarship, and my Uncle Jay was actually pretty highly recruited by the Big Ten as well, but I guess he just wanted to stay home and play for Ball State, so he did that and was pretty successful here for 4 years. So they're both really influential towards me.
Riley and I have been good friends with each other for a very long time, since kindergarten age probably. We've been playing football and all kinds of sports together for a long time, and our friendship has just kind of grown throughout sports.
He's been one of my closest friends for a while now, and playing sports together is something that we really bonded with, so it's really cool.
This is something that was something that we wanted for a very long time, and to be a small part of history in Yorktown was kind of cool for our class.
Yorktown doesn't typically have a tradition of winning football.
Sectional championship that we won our senior year, I told him we should run a fake reverse on the opening kickoff, and we did, and it worked. So I ended up running the opening kickoff back, and Riley came sprinting off the sideline down to the end zone to celebrate with me.
I think we ended up, our team got a flag on that play for celebrating on the field, not just me, but our sideline warning or whatever.
Well, here he is. He comes in. He's had an incredibly successful high school career, both in football and in basketball. And you wonder how coachable and how quick of a learner he might be. And he's been terrific in both of those aspects.
I don't know what my expectations were necessarily. I knew what I wanted, and I wanted to play, but I didn't know exactly how or if or when it would happen. I just, my plan was just to come in and work hard and see where that would take me.
Just one play at a time. Win one battle at a time. One play at a time, one battle at a time. 1st and 10, 0-0, all right? Let me worry about the scoreboard. Got it? All right, let's go. Bring it up. Turn it.
Jack Milas got the start at quarterback, but then Riley Neal came in for the final 2 drives of the first half to lead the offense. Neal, the shotgun snap, drops to his own 45 to pass, bombs one long down the far side of the field.
Again, elusiveness from Riley Neal, escaping the pocket.
meant a lot. All the guys here have been really accepting, even before any of them knew I was starting. I mean, on my official visit when I came here, or just first day, guys, hey, come over and hang out with us tonight. So, I mean, everyone here has been really, really accepting, really nice to everyone, not just me, just the freshman class in general.
The amount that we've been able to throw at him still so early in his career has been impressive, and how even-keeled he is, and how he takes criticism well, and how he tries to learn from his mistakes every day in practice. He's really been a pleasure to work with.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing you do to Jordan. He's getting beat, but he's cutting one. There's no one on him. You know what I'm saying? Don't rush that.
Just that friendship to me is really kind of special, and just to see him succeed on the football field and kind of be a part of it is even better.
A solid rookie campaign from Riley Neal, the only freshman in the Mid-American Conference to be ranked in the top 10 in both passing yards and total offense. Also did a sensational job protecting the football. He had 16 touchdown passes compared to only 6 interceptions. Riley Neal, not the only individual that stood out over the past month or so for Ball State athletics. And to celebrate some of those other individual accomplishments, we introduce a new segment called What's Chirping, as we take a look at some of the finer individual performances over the past month or so. We start with the women's volleyball team. Jenna Spadafora, for the second straight year, named first team All-MAC. Unfortunately for the team, they fell in the second round of the Mid-American Conference tournament as they were swept by Kent State. But Coach Shondell, high praise for Spadafora, said she is one of the best setters to ever play at Ball State. The soccer team also had a very special season as they finished as the MAC regular season champions. Lorena White added to her Defensive Player of the Year accolades by being named first team All-Region. Senior Chelsea Swackhammer led the Mid-American Conference in game-winning goals with 5. She's a second-team selection along with Mid-American Conference Freshman of the Year Abby Boswell. For the Ball State women's basketball team, they were in Colorado at the Omni Hotels Classic in Colorado over Thanksgiving break, and Natalie Fontaine had 16 points against Florida in the opener on Friday night in a losing effort for the Cardinals, and then bounced back in the third-place game in a winning effort for the Ball State Cardinals with a 20-point performance against UMass the following night. The football team sends Jordan Williams to the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl. Now, Jordan's seen what Willie Snead's done at the next level. Now, Jordan could potentially be next. He'll have a chance to work out in front of NFL scouts in 2016 as he finished 4th in Ball State history in receptions and receiving yards. That's what's chirping for Ball State athletics. Allie, expect that trend to continue throughout the winter months and into the spring as well. What else do you have for us?
Well, a lot of big things for Ball State athletics already with the year only halfway over. We're going to get right into this month's Meet the Athlete with swimmer Zach Toman. And there's a little bit of Q&A in this. Check it out.
I started swimming when I was 6 because I always had a pool. I've lived in 3 separate houses, and I always enjoyed being in the water, and really nothing on land, just anything in the water I always enjoyed. So my parents signed me up for swimming, and I loved it. My dad always told me that I was always the first one in the water and the last one out at practice, and I always couldn't wait to go to practice, whereas other kids were like, oh, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. When I was 8, we had a long course meet, and I set the record for the 50-meter breaststroke or something for my age group. And the next year, they actually filled the pool in, so I will always have the record for that. So it can never be broken because there's no pool left. I chose Ball State because it's a good location. I love the school, and when I took my recruiting trip, I loved the team, the coach, the pool, like the area. I loved everything. This season, I want to improve my 100 breaststroke time, my 200 breaststroke time. I'd like to be on the MAC team again. This year, we got 3 new really good freshman breaststrokers, so it's nice to have them to help me to compete with them, I guess, and to push me harder and harder.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
When's your birthday?
July 26, 1995.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Favorite animal?
A lion.
A lion?
I have no idea.
Favorite food?
Chicken wings.
And the last one is celebrity
Selena Gomez.
Nice. I like, okay.
This past weekend, Ball State Sports Link produced 3 games in only 4 days for ESPN3. Here's the recap.
Tonight, it's the Ohio Valley Fighting Scots coming to town. It's Ball State women's basketball on ESPN3. Here's Frazier splitting the lane, dump down for Bennett. Montana on the season perfect from the free throw stripe as she steps to the line for her first and connects. Now 25 of 25. Mitchell on the interception for Ohio Valley. Ball State pushes the tempo, lob for Fontaine, and there she is again, now with 19 on the night. As Ball State up by 31 here in the second quarter. Inside half a minute to play, Ball State forces a turnover with Jose. That's through with Jill Morrison, finding her range downtown.
Absolutely, the court is her playground tonight.
Four days, 3 Sports Link productions, 3 wins for the Ball State Cardinals. Sensing a little bit of a trend there for these Ball State basketball teams. When SL produces, they simply win. This ESPN3 deal has been great not only for the Mid-American Conference, but obviously for Ball State as well. Every single home game for Ball State women's and men's basketball on the family of networks this season. To take a look, conference play coming up with Toledo coming to town for both the men's and the women's side. Shortly after New Year's, January 2nd for the women's and January 6th for the men's squad. Clint Fink is upstairs. He's feeling the holiday spirit. He has some more from Ball State Athletics on social media.
Bringing you social media in Ball State sports. The Ball State baseball team put some Christmas spirit into their off-season workout during their Santa squat day.
The Christmas part was cool. It's kind of a little bit of fun, a little something to get us jacked up.
Outfielder Alex Call tweeted this picture after their Christmas lift showing Ball State baseball making gains. Men's basketball's Trey Moses tweeted this picture showing his excitement for winning the Best Buddies Pair of the Month. The Cardinals also give back to the community by doing the Toys for Tots collection for the Tots Military and Public Safety Appreciation Day. Women's basketball also gives back by signing autographs at this year's Winter Fan Jam. The Ball State gymnastics team tweeted this picture showing their participation in Secret Families. Getting closer to Christmas Day, Ball State softball posted this picture on Instagram after their White Elephant gift exchange. Looking like a lot of fun and Christmas spirit here in Ball State sports. From the Digital Sports Production Center, I'm Clint Fink. Back to you, Connor and Allie.
In this next segment, we're going to show you how gymnast Sarah Ebeyer spends her time here at Ball State in a day in the life.
I'm Sarah Ebeyer, and this is a day in my life. It's 7:30 in the morning, so our mornings during the week are extremely early sometimes. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we lift weights for an hour. It really does help when you're in the gym. You're doing floor routines, sprints, or for vault. Just having that extra power behind you really helps, develop your gymnastics in a better way. It was probably one of the biggest things that helped me coming to college. At my old gym, we didn't actually do any cardio at all. So being able to sit here and add something else to my background that helps me in the gym has been a huge benefit. Right now I'm going to class. I have class from 11 to 11:50. The school is really, really good at working around our practice schedule because we practice from 1 to 4 or 2 to 5. That really kind of takes a huge chunk out of the day. So finding classes around that can be extremely difficult. We actually get like priority registration, so we can schedule before a lot of the students, which is a huge bonus for athletes. I just finished class, and right now I have a break until 2 o'clock when practice starts. So what I normally do is go to the training room at 1 o'clock, so I have an hour to prepare myself for practice, just getting taped up, worked out, getting all the knees stretched and everything like that. But then right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some lunch, that way I can survive practice. So I'll see you guys in the training room. We're going to do a little bit of sports psych before we start practice. Basically, they just come in, and it's really about learning mental toughness, knowing your different cues during routines, being able to talk yourself through things such as injuries, or if you're just having a rough day, being able to focus on one thing at a time. When you're competing, especially if there's such a big crowd going on and everyone cheering, it's really hard to be able to know how to zone in and be able to just focus on you. So that's a lot what sports psych helps us out with. After we have 30 minutes of sports psych, then we'll get warmed up and we'll start practice. Today's practice is from 2:30 to 5. I'm Sarah Ebeyer, and this is a day in my life.
Back in early November, Ball State diver Maddie Zurzo was named Mid-American Conference Diver of the Week, and here's why. A score of 289.25 on the board, which was enough to qualify for the NCAAs. We take a look at her training and determination to qualify for that score in this I Play For You.
I turn my fear into fuel. My doubt into trusting my body. Train to achieve the perfect amount of adrenaline. Not too much, not too little. This is no race, but a battle against gravity. Faith carries me. My team pushes me. It just takes 10 seconds of focus. Between me and the board. I'm always waiting on the score. My strength is not my own, but comes from God alone.
I'm Maddie Zurzo, and I play for you.
We thought we were inspired 2 years ago when we learned of the courageous fight that Tanner Barton is putting up against type 1 diabetes, but the advocacy for a cure and the fight has continued for Tanner Barton here 2 years later, and he makes an encore here on Driven.
And it was September 2nd, 2003. That day will always stick with me because it was a life-changing day.
At the age of 8 years old, Tanner came to the realization that his journey would not be the same as most his age.
Do I have to be the one? Why am I sitting out at practice? Why do I have to go back and swim when I could have done it right then, but I can't do it right then? So anger, I think, and a little bit of embarrassment. He really didn't want to share with anybody. He didn't want anybody to know. I remember sitting somewhere and giving himself a shot in his leg under the table so nobody would see.
I never really thought that I would actually make such a substantial impact as I have, but when I receive emails or Facebook messages from diabetics and from athletes who live with type 1, saying that they saw my first Sports Link video, or that they read articles about me through JDRF, and they're so impressed with my advocacy work and how I really try to help them stay motivated.
Well, it's 9:20 on 11/11, and I'm sitting right now in the Scandinavian Airlines first class lounge. Can't believe that my next flight is going to Copenhagen. I know I've always wanted to be an international spokesperson for Type 1, and now that I'm actually given the opportunity to speak at such a prominent event, I'm ready to make the most of it and seize the day.
Yeah, it's amazing the progress that he's made, you know, the contacts that he's involved with, and just to be invited to Copenhagen for that talk was incredible.
To board first class, we'll see what it has in store in just a few moments.
There was a lot of pressure, but I wasn't fazed by the pressure, because when I was diagnosed at 8 years old, I went to my first JDRF walk a week after my diagnosis. And when I was 9 years old, I was a youth ambassador for JDRF. So I've been involved with the organization for such a long time, and I'm so passionate about JDRF and about diabetes advocacy that when I'm speaking about the organization and about what we're doing to help all diabetics, it's really humbling, because I feel as though I already know what's going on.
We're here, just touched down in Copenhagen, ready for World Diabetes Day, walking into the Copenhagen airport right now. Everyone here has already been so nice, so welcoming, and we'll meet our driver in just a few minutes.
I went through the airport, they had a taxi for me with Tanner Barton on it, feeling very professional. They took me to the hotel from the airport, and I check into the hotel, and it's very exciting to just be in an international country. I go up to the hotel, try to get a little rest, because obviously I was traveling for 10 plus hours, and I wake up and I get ready for dinner. And I'm eating dinner with Camilla, who is the head of the research and design team at Novo Nordisk, and then Elena, who is one of her colleagues.
Okay, we just finished dinner on Thursday night, getting ready for World Diabetes Day tomorrow. I'm here with some of my great colleagues and friends at Novo.
I am Elena, and I am so much looking forward for tomorrow, the Diabetes Day.
And I'm Camilla, and so am I. I'm so happy to be here with Tanner as well. It's so cool.
Thank you. So we are excited, we're ready to go, and we start off tomorrow afternoon with the walk.
They were pretty impressed with views of a patient and a type 1 diabetic and an athlete and a college student. And they, after that summit, they asked him to come to Copenhagen, which was, I'll never forget, he got an email, and he was coaching swimming in our summer league in Dublin, and he called and said, guess what? They want me to go to Copenhagen.
I think something that came as a result of the summit, and something that we really discussed, was Novo Nordisk's drive to help cure type 1 diabetes. And I know we also discussed in the summit how we can make that message more, how we can put that message out in the open and make more people aware of that. We're not only here to supply medications and research new therapies, but we're here to help you obtain those therapies and ultimately cure type 1 diabetes. After walking all morning, I finally made it here to the colored houses of Copenhagen. You can see that they're even decorating for Christmas right now. It's such a breathtaking view. This is the postcard of Copenhagen. Well, I'm back in Indy. That was probably the quickest but most exciting 48-hour international trip that I've ever taken. It's always a good sign too to be back in Indiana, to get ready to work hard, and you know you're loved when your teammates are here to pick you up. So we'll see if JD's outside ready to take me back to good old Muncie the Funcy. Hey, JD came to pick me up from the airport after he just killed it in the 1,000 free at red and white.
I asked him if I could be a chaperone. I think it'd be great to just be a part of his life.
I'm going to go from where we are now to having a cure. And when I talk about a cure, I'm referring to a complete restoration of my beta cells. And I'm referring to that 7-year-old Tanner who didn't have to worry about carb counting and didn't have to worry about testing my blood sugar and worrying if my blood sugar was going to go low in practice or if I would be high before a meet. It would reverse everything physiologically in my body, but it would also eliminate that burden and the fear of living with type 1 diabetes every day. So I do think a cure will be discovered in my lifetime. I would love it. I would love for it to be sooner rather than later, but I think we're currently on the right path because now patients, patient organizations like JDRF, pharmaceutical companies like Novo Nordisk, we're all working together and we all have that same mission, which is to turn type 1 into type 9.
Tanner Barton continues to inspire as that wraps up this episode of Driven. For more on Ball State SportsLink, go to @BSU SportsLink on Twitter as well as on Instagram. She's Allie Luthman. I'm Connor Runyon. Our executive producer was JC Obringer. We'll talk to you next month on Ball State SportsLink's Driven.